A professional kitchen during dinner service is a brutal environment. Forged steel strikes cutting boards, pans rattle, and grease erupts in open flames, while cooks navigate a cramped, dangerous workspace. To prevent operational collapse amidst that deafening noise, a kitchen staff relies on instant, nonverbal cues. Cutting through the blur of motion and chaos, there is one distinct, pristine visual anchor: the stark white, towering cylinder of the chef's hat. Known as the toque blanche, this towering headwear establishes order in a room teetering on disaster. In almost no other civilian profession does physical verticality directly equal command and control. A senior architect doesn't wear a taller hard hat than an intern, and a chief surgeon doesn't command the operating room with a higher scrub cap. Understanding why a chef's authority is tied to their height requires deconstructing the historical and sociological origins of the uniform. The towering hat is a product of two distinct forces: the practical needs of survival in a pre-industrial workspace and the deliberate application of militaristic design. Professional kitchens in the 19th century relied on massive enclosed iron stoves. Working over these roaring coal and wood fires produced an oppressive heat that made the environment actively dangerous for the cooks. This diagram illustrates the anatomy of the traditional toque blanche. The tall, hollow structure functioned as a personal cooling chimney, letting heat dissipate. And while folklore claims the folds represent 100 egg recipes, their actual purpose was structural rigidity. Before it signaled prestige, the hat's height was a pragmatic architectural solution to physical survival. The man who manipulated that physical structure was Marie-Antoine Carême. Born into poverty during the French Revolution, Carême began as an orphaned kitchen boy, but rose to cook for the absolute elite of Europe. Carême viewed the kitchen as a prestigious laboratory and a critical stage for diplomacy, pushing to elevate cooks from overlooked laborers to elite artisans. To reflect this status, he took the traditional floppy cotton cap, stiffened it with cardboard, and raised the height to an imposing 18 inches. This graphic demonstrates the resulting spatial dominance. By forcing an upward sightline, the increased height leverages the human instinct to associate physical elevation with authority, commanding respect from anyone entering the room. Carême's architectural invention rebranded the profession, using height to visually communicate mastery. Decades later, Georges-Auguste Escoffier applied this concept to mass organizational efficiency. Having served as an army chef during the Franco-Prussian War, Escoffier returned to civilian life to manage the massive kitchens of luxury hotels. This chart outlines the Brigade de cuisine, the system Escoffier used to dismantle the chaos of traditional cooking. He applied strict military task delegation, turning the kitchen into a high-speed assembly line. But in a sprawling kitchen with dozens of cooks, tracking verbal orders was nearly impossible over the din of clattering pots. Escoffier solved this by turning the hat into a strict uniform code. He established a visual rule that instantly mapped the room's power dynamic: the taller the toque, the higher the rank. This system enforced a nonverbal chain of command, erasing individual egos in favor of team output. It allowed the executive chef to physically loom over the production line. Escoffier permanently fused the concepts of height and strict obedience into the foundational structure of the professional kitchen. In the 21st century, advanced cooling systems and electric induction ranges have made the kitchen environment safer, eliminating the original need for a cooling chimney. Simultaneously, the rise of the open kitchen concept transformed hidden culinary soldiers into highly visible, public-facing artisans. As chefs became brand ambassadors, the uniform adapted. The stiff 18-inch toque was largely replaced by low-profile, gender-inclusive gear designed for athletic movement. The traditional starched garment became incompatible with the ergonomic and social realities of the modern hospitality industry. Yet, despite its physical disappearance from many modern lines, the towering white toque remains the universal pictogram for the culinary arts. Elite culinary institutes still require their students to wear the traditional uniform. This mandatory rite of passage links new cooks directly to the history and obsessive discipline of the craft. The branding power established by Carême and Escoffier created a visual identity so potent that it outlasted the physical fabric itself. The chef's tall hat, is now an immortalized hierarchy where discipline and authority are worn instead of spoken.